Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hey guys, Chris Haddon, Jason Balin here with the Private Lenders Podcast, sponsored by Hard Money Bankers, our lending company, and also our mastermind group for private lenders called hardmoneymastermind.com. Today we're talking about how marketing equals the quality of your opportunities, right? And what we mean by that is in any aspect of your business, like on the lending side, on the origination side, or the capital you work with, or whatever it may be, maybe you buy properties, whatever it happens to be, the number of opportunities you have is going to end up equaling how quality your deals are. Does that make sense? Like if somebody has 100 things to choose from, 100 deals to choose from, and they want to pick, I don't know, call it 10, just making up numbers, that's pretty good, right? Like you're going to, or maybe it's 5, or like you're passing on a lot of marginal opportunities and you're picking up the best ones, right? And on the other side of things, people who do not have the right marketing in place, they do not have the quantity of opportunities in place. They might have 10 opportunities and they're trying to pick 5. So imagine how much lower quality that's going to be, right, than the person who has 100 to choose from.
Yeah, I mean it's very simple, and it's tough when you're a newer private lender or a hard money lender going into it, because you're going out there and you're bringing in business, and you're going to believe that the best deal or the better deals are the higher end of the average deal that you look at, right? So follow me on this. So you get 10 deals in the door your first week, right? And you say, okay, cool. Well, this one seems really good. This one seems really bad. This one's in the middle. I'm going to do that really, really good deal. Well, that might not necessarily make it that it's a really, really, really good deal. So, we can relate this to a few things when we started. I remember like 07, 08, 9, 2010, like we had a lot of deal flow and they were all very, very strong deals. And because there wasn't many lenders out there. There wasn't much competition. And honestly, it kind of feels like it does today over the last 30 days. There wasn't as much competition. So in general, we got a lot of really good, strong deals over and over and over and over. And we cherry picked the best of the best. So not only were our average deals strong, we only did the best of the best of the best. And then, fast forward, whatever, like when there's tons and tons of competition out there, someone might be like, hey, you're getting tons and tons of deals, and not all that great of quality, and you pick the best ones out of those low quality deals, and then hey, your deals are so. So the important part is you got to understand in general the quality that comes in, and pick the best ones. And the reason this is a marketing, you have to treat this as a marketing company. Any company as a marketing company is the more you market, the more opportunities and the more deal flow you go, the more the better off you are, because you can cherry pick the best ones. And this isn't just for borrowers, this is for investors, right? It's the same thing.
Oh, totally. And I'm going to dive into that in a second. But I remember we were on a call recently with a number of different private lenders from around the country, just talking about what they were seeing. And I think I mentioned this before, but one of the people on the call was almost bragging about the fact that he doesn't do any marketing and he only gets business by referral. And I was just shaking my head because I mean, this business is a numbers game. Like we look at a lot of stuff to get to the ones that we actually want to do. So, I mean, I'm all about repeat business and I'm all about referrals too, frankly, but I don't think there's anything to brag about by not marketing in this game at all. So on the capital side, that's an interesting point too. And it works the same way, just slightly differently. So I remember back in the day when we were first raising capital, 2008, 2009, 2010, we didn't have obviously the capital base that we have now. We didn't have the number of investors we had. And for that reason, these people who had a good amount of money had a little bit of leverage on us, if you remember that. And they could beat us up for a little higher interest rate. Maybe at the beginning, we might have even been paying a point to like 1 or 2 investors, and they kind of knew that we needed it. So they were able to leverage us a little bit in that way. And then fast forward years later, when we have plenty of capital, those same people couldn't do that anymore. Like their price came down because they wanted to deploy. We had the deal flow, they didn't, and they wanted to deploy. And they knew that we had, instead of 10 investors at the beginning, we had now at 100, right?
Yep.
So they're like, the whole dynamic of the relationship changes. So they're like, okay, let me put out money at 9-10% instead of, hey, I'm going to beat you up for 12.5 points. And that just has to do with the number of opportunities you have, and it grows over time, and you build it over time, and you keep that snowball rolling, and then you're in a much better spot down the road. Instead of not having it grow, then you're forever in the same spot, right?
Yeah, and if you think about it, this is aligned to almost everything that we do in our daily lives, along with any type of business or any venture, because let's say you're a real estate agent and you're not trying to go out there and like, create this gigantic company. You're a one man or one woman real estate agent, and you like doing your few transactions a month. And then that's what you can handle. That's what you want to do. Well, you're going to do the best ones. You're probably going to take high end listings. You're going to take on $1 million listing instead of a $100,000 listing. If you only have the bandwidth to do 3 projects, or list 3 properties or whatever, you're going to deal with the low hanging fruit and the best of the best, and you only get them by marketing. Same with real estate investors in general. Hey, I only want to do 1 flip. The goal is I want to do 1 flip a month. You're going to pick that best flip that you have, and the more opportunities you have, the better. And that's where it goes to. If you have a skinny margin flip and that's the only flip you have that month, you're doing that one. If you have a home run flip, you're going to do that one. You're going to pick the best of the best of the best of the best. It goes for real estate agents. It goes for hard money lenders. It goes for private capital investors. If there's a private capital investor that I want to lend money to, if I'm a private capital investor and I want to invest in a fund, or if I want to invest with other hard money lenders, who am I going to choose? I'm going to choose the one that potentially I get a better rate of return, has better deal flow. I have better parameter, I have better terms with, I have a better relationship with one. I'm going to cherry pick to be the best one. It's the same thing with landlords. It's the same thing with pretty much any business owners. Oh, who can I go out there and sell my product to? Whoever is the easiest, potentially pays the most. Think about it. Like, if you really dig deep into this principle and this concept, that's the reason why marketing is so darn important. And there's a lot of people that will be like, well, I'm so busy in my business already, I can't go spend time on that. And if that's the mindset that you have, and that's where you believe you are, and you're happy with that, fine. But why not try to generate better deals, better business that you currently have, higher amounts? It's hard it would be hard for me or anyone to state that, I'd rather just do a $100,000 listing as a real estate agent than a $500,000 listing.
Yeah, and especially one an hour away from your house instead of in your neighborhood, right?
Exactly, that's right.
So in general, I think the right things to focus on, no matter what your niche is, like if it's raising capital or lending money on the origination side or real estate agent, whatever it may be, I would focus on having that database constantly growing. And the database could mean a number of different things. It could be your email list, the number of people you've actually spoken to and phone numbers you have, your social media followers, your website visitors. These are all different versions of a database. And if you're doing the right stuff, all of those numbers grow slowly and steadily. Second, the other thing is you have to stay in front of them. You have to contact them. Like a big CRM isn't worth much if you don't contact them, right? So you stay in front of them with the right kind of messaging on all those platforms I just mentioned, on the telephone, on email, and social. And if those 2 things are happening, it's growing and you're contacting them, the things that we're talking about are going to fall into place. You're going to have more opportunities than your competition, and you're going to have so many opportunities that you can do the best ones, right? So I think that's the game plan to implement. Hey, especially now. I mean, I think a lot of people with fewer transactions going on, now is a great time to put some of those things in place if you don't have them already, or to improve the things that you do have in place, right? Real estate's still functioning. We're all still doing deals. We're quoting deals every day, closing deals almost every day, but it's still not as many transactions as in a normal non-pandemic world when you get to work from the office and like function totally normally. Not as much as that, but like still functioning. So still, I mean, we can spend more time on improving our own game, and we have been. And I definitely suggest that other people do, especially if they're newer on. If you're newer in the private lending world, like now's build time. Now's build time. Yeah. I was actually talking to, interesting point, I don't think we've talked about this yet. I was talking to my brother about his company. He works for a hard money company out in Colorado, and they were one of the many that lost that Wall Street funding, lost that institutional funding that they were selling loans off to. And so immediately they're full on capital raise mode. Full on capital raise. Like got their presentation together, their pitch deck, going out, they're doing Zoom pitches. Like that's how you got to do it, because they know they need to transition, they need to shift, pivot. That's the word I'm looking for, from the institutional world to private capital. So boom, they got plenty of time. They're on full on capital raise mode, which I was impressed to see.
Yeah, and I mean we talk about, a lot of this conversation was hey, pick the best of the best, cherry pick the best deals that you have. The more deals you have, the better. And that's all fine and dandy. But the one position you never want to be in, which is the hardest position to be in, is the complete opposite, where you're straight have small pipeline syndrome. And we've done lots of topics like this because you have small pipeline syndrome. You're literally just scraping any darn deal you can get your hands on. And that deal will control you. It'll be a bad deal. If you have a small pipeline syndrome and you're desperate to have investor capital, that investor will absolutely control you and make your life miserable, and you'll be working for them. Or if you're a real estate agent and you have small pipeline syndrome, you're going to be chauffeuring some crappy buyers who are not qualified all around town in order to sell them a house to make us very small, measly commission. So you be the judge of what you believe the side of the business that you want. And yes, everyone, when they start a business, doesn't matter what it is, typically has some sort of small pipeline syndrome, and it's a bad feeling to have. So get that out of your way, get that out of your head, and start marketing for the right opportunities. And whenever you think you have a full pipeline, believe me, on a regular basis, we believe that we have a full pipeline of capital, a full pipeline of borrowers, a full pipeline of opportunities, and we are continuing to full steam ahead, press forward to continue our marketing engine to make sure we have more stuff coming in. And guess what? The bottom 20% of the crap, weans out, and then you got new people coming in. And if you can understand that concept in any business, you're going to be good.
Totally agree.
So, all right, guys. Well, we appreciate you listening to this version of Private Lenders Podcast, and we'll check everybody next week. See you guys soon.